Welcome to another Will You Snail development live stream. Today we will have a look at the dark side of game development. As you might know, I have a little bit of a production plan that I need to follow because I want to finish my game at the end of March. Let me bring it up real quick. Here we go. And basically it's time for the menu system. Yippee! I love coding menu systems. So that's basically part of the dark work you've got to do every now and then as a game developer. Something that doesn't really feel all that fun. Feels pretty boring to implement. Doesn't really feel like it brings the game forward. And I usually try to avoid doing stuff like that on stream. But this week I've got quite a bit to do with WoWie Game Jam. Hey, if you haven't joined WoWie Game Jam, check out that link in the description. It's pretty much taking place this Friday, so in less than 2 days we'll all start making games together and it will be absolutely amazing. I would have never thought that over 70 people would sign up for it. That is absolutely crazy. I would watch this, but I have to go to sleep. Well, lucky you, you're not missing out on anything. Hey, Gear Reel, hey, Golden Washing Machine, and Schlingelkorn, hey. You can watch for 1 minute, perfect. Yeah. So let me start up Game Maker, and then I'll try to write a menu system. And obviously, oh dang, this hairstyle is more annoying than I thought. All right. So the main point of this menu system is just to get it over with as quickly as possible and to make it look somewhat okay. So I wonder if we can do that in one day. I assume we can't. So let's see how far we get today. Let's try to make a system that's as versatile as possible and can be expanded on as easily as possible. And as you might hear from listening to my voice, I somehow managed to get sick again, a little cold. I mean, at the very least, there's no crazy infection this time around, so guess that's an improvement. Okay, let's get rid of all of that and let's create a new room. And I'm gonna call that one menu. And there will be only one menu. Basically, if you hit escape, you will go to the menu. So I will not differentiate between main menu and pause menu because I just want to keep it as simple as possible. I guess we just get rid of everything in here except for a couple of objects. Maybe I should start from an entirely empty room. So the first thing we have to do is making sure that it's possible to interrupt the gameplay and go to an entirely different room and then basically go back to the gameplay and continue from where you left off. Why are there still objects even though there are no objects on any of these layers? Which layer are these on? Game Maker. Okay, very interesting. We still have objects in here even though I deleted everything. What is going on? What if I disable all of those layers? Are they on the post-processing layer? Oopsie, I guess I missed that one. Okay, that's the 3 objects I'm gonna keep. And all of the rest needs to be coded from ground up. Here, you will join the Wowie Gem too. That's fantastic. Very glad to hear that. You have 0 art skills. Doesn't matter, just go for an abstract style and choose a good color scheme. Then everything's fine. Brown rice, have a good one. See ya. I found a pretty cool generator today, and I've also linked it on the Wowie Gem site. It's basically an AI-powered color generator where you just click on generate and it generates a random color scheme that works out pretty well. And if you want, you can also log in a couple of the colors and then it generates colors that fit to that color scheme. Pretty great. I'm fine, Fabian. Thanks. How are you? Dang it, why did I go for such a stupid, annoying style today? That is like so annoying. But I think I have a fix for it. Ha. I mean, now it's pretty pointless because now you can't see it anymore, but okay. At the very least, we can get to work now. Hello there, Pope No. Hey, GameMaker crashed again. I love when it does that. Because now I can create that room again. I love starting from 0. It's one of GameMaker's best features. Room. Luckily, everything works a lot faster when you do it the second time around. Okay. See, we can already get started, and this time I just hit the save button whenever I do something, so we don't lose any progress anymore. Okay, let's create a new folder for all of the UI stuff. Add group. Menu. Create object. Object. Menu manager. I guess when we... how do we do that? Maybe we don't even need a menu manager. Let's see if we can just do it with our persistent object, and then we'll have a little bool in here. B is in main menu. Or I guess that's my naming convention here, just whatever I want. In main menu is false, and when the player hits a certain key, for example, escape, so here now that inverts it, and then when we are in the main menu now, then we'll say room go to, how did I call the room? Main menu. I haven't really named the room properly, have I? So let's just call it. Oh, the menu room already exists. I guess I did save last time. Interesting. Okay, then we already have a menu. And before that, we have to set the room to persistent. Room persistent equals true. Because we obviously want everything to still be in place when we return to that room. You're also fine, that's nice. That's why you have Control S. True. I should hit that every now and then. You don't have to pay for GameMaker every month. Luckily, it's not a subscription-based model. You just pay once and then you can use it forever. But it's also not exactly super cheap either. You're just hitting Control S every couple of seconds automatically. That's probably a smart thing to do. Oh, it's the variable called in main menu. Oh my god. There was a way to replace all of these, but I guess I haven't used it all that often yet, so let's just do it like this. In main menu. Thanks for pointing that out. Was still an easy fix. And then here we remember the room we were in before we went to the menu. Equals room. And otherwise, what will we do? We will go to room. Into the room we were in before. And we'll set persistent to false. And guess we'll set that to -1 again, even though that's not super necessary. Let's play a little bit of a click sound to support that action. Should probably do that down here. Because in here we also need to do audio, sound, audio pause all. Just let's pause all of the sounds. And then when we go back to the room, we'll resume all. But this sound should always play, so that's why we just trigger it after the fact. Is that all? Oops, no, not quite. Time is supposed to be 0. Okay, now this should, in theory, already work. So let's try it out. Oh my god, so many new messages. In case I missed anything important, just post it again. So one thing I'm really surprised by is that we actually still can see something in the pause menu. Why? I mean, that's great, but why is that? It probably has to do with the post processing. There's probably just nothing. Oh, it still does that? That's interesting. Also, there's no way to end the game now. Okay, but seems to work so far. Yeah, GameMaker has its own language, that's correct. Pope no. Let me scroll up a bit, let me see if I missed anything. You thought this was supposed to be a small project? Yeah. Luckily I have people in chat answering my questions for me. That's very useful. It started out as a small project, but it turned out to be a lot bigger than expected, and now it's kinda too late to switch. Okay, so... I don't draw the background here. That explains everything. Let's bring all of these layers back. Okay, seems like there's still one object in here that's not supposed to be in here. Or is there? Which layer is this on? Dang it! I want to feed. Here. We don't want that. Okay, now we should just get a black screen whenever we hit the pause button. Yeah, it's actually, it feels a little similar to Python. That's correct. You called it settings volume fx, not settings volume fx. Jesus, how do you see these things? Luckily, that one doesn't really matter because who cares about that, you know? How's life treating me? With an error message. That was good timing. Life's treating me quite well, thanks for asking. I can't complain about anything major. I just managed to catch a little cold again, which is unfortunate, but there's worse. There's way worse, so I'm still lucky. All right. Maybe I should have read the error message. I have a tendency not to do that. Okay. Hmm. So it seems like this object doesn't exist in that room. So let's just ask if it exists. And otherwise, we'll just set those two variables to 0. Now that should work. I definitely appreciate that you pointed that spelling error out to me. It's just that fixing that is actually not really high priority, as it has no impact on the game. And I still know what it means, so nothing to worry about. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. Actually, is that a Nintendo game? I think so, right? I'm actually pretty happy with the fact that this already works, because sometimes this can already be a pretty annoying part to get up and running correctly. And it seems like wherever we are still able to return to our current playing position just fine. And everything just continues off exactly where we left it off, so that is already pretty great. And that click sound is super satisfying. So just switching to the main menu is already super fun. Now we just gotta make sure that menu is actually filled with stuff. Ooh, my favorite part of game development. Okay, guess we'll create a menu. A menu instance, and I'll use that as a parent for all of the upcoming menu instances. Let me make a little sketch. So basically we have random text here. And whenever you select one of these, this part of the menu will gray out a little bit. And this might split into more options here. And I think this is a pretty solid and versatile system because all of these can just be the same object type. I don't need any exceptions or any other object types, and they can all just be the same object type. Because that one then maybe splits into these as well. And then, for example, that could be post-processing or difficulty, and then back here you have just easy, medium, hard, and then you click on the correct one, and it needs to highlight somehow. I think with that we could do pretty much everything we need to do. So, I think that will work. If not, then we'll figure it out. Oh, it's by Disney. Oh, dang. You're not working yet, you're just in school, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being in school, other than the fact that school sucks, of course. Yeah, basically like a tree system, right? That's what I'm going for. Mainly because it feels like the simplest way to implement this. So I think every single one of these menu instances will basically have a list. Yeah, how do we do that? I'm already running into first issues on how to code this. What if we just create Because how do we want to set this tree structure up later on in a way that is not super annoying and frustrating? And why do I have to write all of this crap from scratch in GameMaker? Okay, to be fair, you have to write a lot of this from scratch in Unity as well, but at the very least Unity helps you out a little bit with all of that. So let's say event user 0 is where we specify what's inside. Menu item instances and menu item names, because you have to keep the names separate. And here we will basically give this as a parent, which means we don't need the create event anymore because it will just be inherited. And then an event user 0, we can add some stuff to those lists. Maybe the first one is new game. In case you want to start a new game, load game will not be necessary because the game will be loaded automatically. New game, settings. Should the difficulty be in the settings or should that be its own thing? Quit. Guess that's the only 3 things we need then, new game settings and quit. And when that object is destroyed, we need to delete those lists as well. Destroy this one. And this one. And same goes for when the room ends. So those are cleared from the memory. Hey, random guy. That's a cool username. What am I doing today? Today I'm writing the menu system because I didn't get around to doing that before the stream. So now we've got to do it in the stream. And as I've said earlier, usually I try to avoid doing boring stuff like that on stream, but every now and then guess that's necessary. And I think it's not that bad. It helps to paint a realistic picture of what game development is like. Oftentimes it's just really super stupid, annoying stuff and systems that don't have anything to do with the actual gameplay. Settings, graphics, gameplay, audio, yes, but that menu will basically have a tree structure, and graphics, gameplay, audio, all of that will be inside of settings. So when you click on settings, all of those will open up. Graphics, gameplay, audio, difficulty. I'm just wondering if difficulty should be right in here so it's a little more accessible. So don't need to click on settings first. End game. Okay, well maybe we should get the system up and running before we discuss the details. Draw. Should they also have a header? No, let's do without a header. Let's try to keep it simple first, even though header would probably... Oh, maybe you don't need a header. Let's see. Can't use YStart because that's an GameMaker internal variable that's already taken. So I'm gonna take start Y, and that will be room height divided by 2 minus ds list size size of that, bang bang bang, multiplied with spacing divided by 2. And obviously a true mathematician would now remove that divided by 2 here and just put all of that into brackets. Even though that makes it a little more confusing, but sometimes I can't resist the urge. Okay. And now we can just simply create a for loop. Maybe I save this in a variable as well. Menu item count. Then we don't need to recheck all of the time. Find value. Could also just try to remember these variable names, but I'm too stupid for that. Okay, draw that font. No. I talk because that one is nice and big. Draw that color. Let's go for white. And then the y position will just be I times y spacing plus y start. Okay, that should at the very least already show the basic menu points. Hey everyone! Hi Carmos, welcome to the stream. And that is actually very satisfying. Why is that so satisfying? It's so satisfying. The rest of the stream will just be me turning on the menu and then turning it off again. Okay, now we need to make sure we can select one of these, and that should work both with keyboard as well as with gamepad. And luckily it doesn't need to work with mouse because the mouse is just disabled anyway. If you don't use, or if you don't need the use to control the game, then in my opinion it doesn't need to be possible to control the menu with the mouse either. So some more work we can save on that. Let's go. So let's selected item equals 0. If keyboard check pressed, 5K down. So when we press down or S, okay, I'll implement the gamepad stuff later because I probably need a gamepad to implement that. I can't plug it in at the moment because when I'm streaming all of my USB slots are taken. Yes, I have a gamepad. Otherwise, it would be pretty annoying to build a game for a gamepad, wouldn't it? Why do I use Windows 8? 10 is better. Mostly comes down to my laziness. Never change a running system, you know, cause don't need to fix what ain't broken. But obviously, if I decide to update this PC at any point, I'll obviously go with the recent version of Windows. Okay, so in this case, we want selected item plus plus. Once again, useful to have this max item count right here. Okay, but that doesn't really work when we subtract something, so I guess I'll just do if select item larger than bar we'll set it to 0. If we click up or W, we'll subtract something, and if it's smaller than 0, we'll set it to item count -1. And then I want to have a beautiful click sound when I change that, because that apparently is super satisfying. And now in this for loop, it should be relatively easy to check whether this is the selected one. If selected item equals I, then we can draw rectangle. How do I get the width of that text? String get width. String width, okay. Without get. I'll just replace this with variables so it's easier to adapt and change later on. Now we can just say ypos plus 30, startx plus txt width, and ypos. I guess we'll do plus 25 here or something like that. And false. We just want to draw that in white. Now we should be able to select stuff in our menu. Let's check if it works. Never change a running system. Fabian, did you write that after I said it or before that? Because that would mean we had the same thought. Okay. Why is it possible to select nothing when you click downwards? That is not how it's meant to be, but when clicking upwards, it seems to work fine. I'm so irritated by the fact that I can't end the game with escape anymore. Do you think I should make the music for my game myself or look for something on the internet? That depends on what you want to do. You can, I mean, making music is fun. Try it out if you want. There's a little, that is not really enough information to give you really good feedback on what you want to do. Do you want to make a successful game? Is it just a learning project? I mean, I need more information to answer that question properly, I guess. Hey Jonas, I'm aspiring game dev myself, but I can't commit to my game idea now, unfortunately. I hope I will in the future. Anyway, I just want to tell you that you're awesome. Keep going. Oh, thank you, Andreas. I definitely wish you good luck with your game dev endeavors. Do you not have the time to do some proper game development at the moment, or what's the issue? What's holding you back, Andreas? FL Studio is not free though, so if you are broke, you don't have a choice. I mean, there are free music. There's free music development software out there. I think there's even a free version of FL Studio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to fixing Mr. Bug. Mr. Bug, where are you? Okay, so here going upwards, if it's smaller than 0. That should be correct though. I don't understand. Because this for loop starts at 0 and these lists start at 0 as well. So only if it's smaller than 0, then I want to set it back to its full value. I guess we're just gonna draw this on the screen real quick. Yeah, I tried FL Studio once, it's pretty hard to get into, gotta be honest. I didn't understand it either. Okay, so see here we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it goes all the way to 4? Why does it do that? Oh no, actually I looked in the completely wrong place. I have to look up here. If it's larger than -1. Now it should work, and now I can also get rid of that text here. And I'll just hit Control S to save, and then I'll hit the save button because I'm paranoid now. Yeah, a lot of people like FL Studio. I'm sure it's a great software. I'm just so used to Cubase now that, once again, no reason to change our running system. I'll just stick to Cubase. Unless they mess up, then I guess it's good that there's some competition out there I can go to. Alright. Dang it. Now the easy part is out of the way. What do we do next? Let's implement another list here. That should allow me to attach scripts. I wonder if GameMaker still has the execute script function, but we'll see about that in a sec. Because now if we hit right D space or enter, we want to make sure to hear another click sound, of course. So this script will just end the game. Guess I'll put these on the top so they look a little more like they're actually titles. And then these scripts will also just be set to -1 for most of these settings, except down here where I want to execute scr end game. I really wonder if that works. Date, how did I call the variable? Menu item scripts. And we'll have a look at the selected item. And if that script is larger or equal to 0, Alright, that's cool. Script execute. We can just say script execute script. Nice. That looks like a pretty cool and versatile system. If that actually works, I'd be pretty happy. Oh no. Chat is going crazy while I'm not paying attention. I'm sorry if I'm not reading all of that. But when I'm focused, it feels a little counterproductive to read chat all of the time, but I'll have a look in a sec. Okay, when I click here, then, okay, it makes, I hear nice click sounds. Oh, nice, it works. That is very nice, because now there's an option to end the game again. We're making progress, yay! And we haven't even been streaming for 1 hour. I did not expect this to work out this quickly. You can't do commercial stuff with it. You can't export, I think. Those, yeah, GameMaker has some pretty crazy restrictions if you don't have the paid version. Don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about there, but you're limited to having something like 20 objects and 5 rooms and 20 sprites, and that is not really enough to have fun with the program, in my opinion. It's pretty stupid system. Because if you have a look how many objects I have in here, that is way more than 20. That is probably... I guess I can just create a new object to get a rough estimate. Create object. Ah yeah, object 184. So we have about 150 objects in here. It's not really fun with just 20. That is a too crazy limitation. I would like the sound to be a little different when we click, when we select something. It's a little irritating that has exactly the same sound at the moment. I guess we can just say audio, sound, pitch, and change the pitch of that a little bit. Alright. Okay, now we can execute scripts whenever we select one of these menu points. What we cannot do yet is open a submenu. So let's create a new submenu. And let's call this one settings. And then here in settings, what do we need in settings? We already have difficulty on the main menu, so we don't need difficulty. We do need graphics and sound, of course. We don't need controls because who cares about rebindable keys? And also in a platformer where you literally only need the arrow keys or ASDW, I would make the assumption that maybe key rebinding is not the most important feature we need. So is it really just graphics and sound? Ah, no, gameplay as well. Graphics, sound, gameplay. I think we have a couple of gameplay options. And we do not need back, because going back will be simply pressing to the left. So that feels like a pretty convenient way to set all of this up so far. I'm pretty happy with the system. So when we click on settings here, we want to open a submenu. Object menu settings. So same game again, basically. Menu item instances, selected item. If that is larger or equal to 0, we will say a couple of things probably. For once. Instance create layer. And we'll create that at no particular position on the same layer. And we'll create that submenu. And then we also need to disable this part of the menu. How could we do that? So frozen is false. When we open a submenu, that means we'll freeze this menu. And here, that entire control section is only active when this part of the tree is not frozen. Very tricky, very tricky. And then if it is frozen, I'm just changing the color up there. Guess we'll just gray it out when it's frozen. And then it will also have a parent menu. I can already see that there's a typo. In case some of you wanted to point that out. Now it's fixed. Sub, or was there? Huh, weird. Now it looks good. Sub menu is ID. So this object. So we know when we close that child object, then we know which object we need to unfreeze. That is obviously important. Because now if we click to the left, or if we click A, we'll ask if parent menu is larger or equal to 0. And if that is the case, we want to play a sound effect, of course, because that makes it so much more satisfying to use right away. And maybe we pitch that down a bit to make it a bit different. Oops. And then we'll set frozen to false in the parent. Which might have some weird effects, because then when it's instantly unfrozen, that means all of the inputs we just made will also apply to that object, which means if we have a bigger tree structure open, it might instantly collapse again. Not sure if you can follow, but if not, then it's due to my bad explanation skills for sure. What's going on in chat? Let's have a look. I can't follow because I look at chat too rarely. I don't even know what what you guys are talking about anymore. Okay, but it seems like you're talking amongst yourself, so that's fine. That means I can just keep coding, I guess. Ip, ip, ip. And obviously instance destroy, meaning this object will destroy itself. Here we might have to implement a little bit of a fix if this turns out to be a problem. But in theory, this should work. Just need to put that variable in here, xstart, and then make sure when we create a child object, we offset that variable. Oh, plus what? Plus 400. How much space do we need? I'm not entirely sure. But guess we'll see in a sec. Let's see if that works. Hi Pop Dodo, welcome back. Ah, you're talking about free music software. Cool. Sunvox, I've never heard about that. Let me type that into Google. Okay, I'll keep that tab open. Check it out later. Oh my god! Do you see that? It's working. Just going back doesn't work. Okay, where's the problem? It's so strange how it's the same sound every time, but it sounds so different depending on how it's pitched. That pitch down version of the sound was really unexpected, but it sounded quite well. Uh, okay. When we say instance destroy, where do I do that? Then obviously the rest of the code should not be executed, but what's a little annoying about coding in here is I think that break doesn't work, or return is what I'd do usually. I'd like to do a return here. That's a shame. I mean, I could just put everything in a script, but that, nah. Oh, whatever, let's do a random quick fix. Doesn't look nice, but it will work. Oh, exit. Does exit actually work in those events? Gotta try that. That is very satisfying. And we can even exit it like that. That's fantastic. Yeah, we definitely missed you, Pope Nono. Okay, let's see if exit works. Oh, nice. I didn't know about that. That's fantastic. Thanks for the tip. Alright, that should still work, right? Right? Yeah. It does. That's really cool. Okay, I really didn't expect this to work out so quickly, so I guess we can start implementing actual settings now. Let's start with difficulty. Because then we can simply I don't know how they're currently called, but something like hard, very hard, rage mode. I think I've got to rethink the names of these difficulty settings once again. Okay, and now obviously the problem is whenever one of these is selected, we want to call the same script but with a different argument. So guess we'll do another list then for the script argument. Oh my god, why did I write menu item there? Another typo. That looks too ugly. I've gotta fix it. Okay. Da 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 da. Cool. Is everything still here? Okay. Game Maker, what was that? I have no clue. Wait, you can change difficulty in-game? No, not yet. I'm implementing that feature at the moment. You could change difficulty at the beginning of the game, but it will be possible to change difficulty in-game, yes, that is correct. So you can play one level on hard and one on impossible, yeah. If you want to do that, you can do that. Isn't that kind of cheating? Well, you definitely won't get the achievement for playing on an impossible difficulty then if you just played one level on impossible. But I think in general, the problem with difficulty settings is that if you're just asking for the difficulty at the beginning of the game, people don't know yet what the difficulty settings mean, so they have to play a bit to figure out which difficulty setting is the best one for them. It's a little stupid to ask them at the beginning and then they are locked in and can't change it anymore. So of course you need to be able to change it later on. What will stand in the end then? I mean, in the end you will see if you play the entire game on impossible difficulty and you play one level on easy difficulty, then at the end you will only get the achievement for easy difficulty because you didn't beat all of the levels in impossible difficulty, obviously. No, we won't allow cheating, but we will allow people to choose the difficulty that is the best one for them. All right. Because now we should be able to do something like that. Skr set difficulty. And then we'll say global.difficulty equals argument 0. Not a very complicated script, I know, but then maybe later on we'll have to implement a save feature here as well, so the settings are saved after you make changes. So having the structure already set up is very nice indeed. Now we can just say the script we want to call here is grr set difficulty, and the argument we want to set is 0. Obviously, if you ever want the argument to be -1, we'll have a problem, but okay. I think that won't happen. Didn't I just name them a couple of minutes ago? Why do I need to do it again? Guess I deleted it on accident. I have rage mode and impossible. Or you just play the game in all difficulty? What do you mean? Like I try to do with the demo? Ah, yeah. Wonder who is fastest, me beating it on impossible or you to make the full game. I don't think it's possible to beat it on impossible difficulty. That's why it's called impossible difficulty, but I'm really surprised you managed to get that far. You really, seriously managed to get all the way to the fireworks level. I can't believe it. For everybody who wants to try out how hard that actually is the link to that in the description? Yeah, actually the link to the Will You Snail demo should be in the description. So if you haven't played that winter demo yet, you can check it out and see if you can beat it on impossible difficulty, but I can already tell you, you won't be able to beat it on impossible difficulty because it's impossible. All of the other difficulties are already more than hard enough. For sure. Alright. What needs to be done next? Right, we need to implement that feature. Get rid of that, it annoys me. Dang it, maybe I should clean this up a bit. Okay, so here we execute the script. Script argument will be this. Script arguments, If that is unequal to -1, we'll call this with an argument. Otherwise, we'll call it without the argument, so okay. Okay. What's obviously a little annoying about changing difficulty setting is that we need to restart the room in order for the changes to apply, so that will need some extra work, but in general this should work now, I guess. Probably we also don't get all that amazing feedback. Okay, so we should be able to feel the difficulty here. Oh, why is there nothing there? And why does the level does this weird flickering whenever I come back? Ah, this is not good. This can't be good. This can't be good. I was already wondering, oh, what? Why did it start up again? I was already so happy with our progress. Hey, Top 5S, Hindi, hello, welcome. Rage mode just took you 232 deaths. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Can't you just kill the player and then subtract for the death count? To do what? To solve what problem? I'm lacking context here again. Because I'm looking at the chat so rarely. So, why was everything invisible? That is really strange. Reset the room. The problem with resetting the room is that I change the difficulty in the main menu, and resetting that room obviously doesn't help me, so I need to remember that I need to reset the room until we're back in game. In theory, that's not a big issue, but no, makes it a little harder. Hey, why is this absolutely non-existent now? Oops, did I delete the object? How did that happen? Strange, very strange. Okay, now it's back. I don't understand why that is happening. Let's actually read the error message for once. That feels like it's a completely different part of the code. So I wonder... does it have anything to do with the room being persistent? Is it still persistent? That might very well. Oh no, I put the wrong menu in there. Oh no, I'm such an idiot. How did that happen? I'm so confused. Oh no, I think I actually deleted an object. Oh no. Where did my main go? I think I deleted that early on accident. Probably I hate the fact that the delete and duplicate is right next to each other. I probably wanted to duplicate and then I clicked on delete instead. That happens every now and then, and every time it happens it's like so annoying because there's no way to undo that. Ah, jeez. New game. Difficulty. Settings. And exit. And that one will call script and game. And this one will create object menu settings. This one will create object menu difficulty. And now settings has graphics, sound, gameplay. That is all correct. And difficulty does have hard, very hard, rage mode, impossible. And that's the correct difficulty. That is also all correct. This is not correct. Okay, slowly but surely I'm getting my shite back together. Very nice. And now I think at the beginning of each room here, room start, okay, that might not fix all of the issues, but we can just say room persistent equals false, because generally we don't want rooms to be persistent. Okay. Not sure if that will fix the in-game errors. Make hyper-casual games. I'm not sure about the context of that either. Probably have to introduce a new rule where whenever you post a comment, you need to give me the context in brackets before that so I know what the hell you're talking about. Because I'm not looking at chat often enough. Jonas, will this game have 21.9 support? I don't think so. I'll see what I can do about that. Kinda doubt it. How much you earn with this type of game, I have absolutely no idea because I have never published a game like this. And in fact, I have never made any substantial amount of money by selling games. But then also I haven't really had a proper attempt at it, so we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. I wrote a NES game instead of new game. How am I so bad at spelling? Am I going to publish it on Steam? Yes, I will. I think so. This menu feels very unsatisfying because it doesn't have any click sounds. This. Oh, why did it exit right away? A new bug. Fantastic. Oh, great. Now it just closes right away. Why? Why? Does it have anything to do with this? No. So it looked very good at the beginning. Now all of the problems are starting to creep in. Okay, so when I remove that object, it doesn't end the game right away. So it's gotta have something to do with this object. Ah, I can't have the brackets here, otherwise it's instantly executed. Okay, that makes sense. You're here to look at my spelling mistakes, that's great. You always need people like that. NES game. Okay, that looks wrong though. You're right. Okay. Now, what's a little annoying about that is that we don't get any feedback that we have selected that now, but other than that it should work already. So if I click here hard, okay. Then now it should be on harder difficulty, which is basically easy. Okay, so that is in fact pretty easy. And now if we change the difficulty to impossible and restart the level, I think it worked, even though the difference is not as big as I thought it was. But I can definitely feel it being a lot harder. Or at least a little bit. Guess we'll have to go to a harder level to properly test that. Okay, well. That still feels pretty easy, but that's probably because I'm such a skilled player. We change that to hard. I can't see a difference. It's hard to figure out whether it's actually working or not. The more I think about it, it's probably not working. Because here in the difficulty selection, in the initial difficulty selection you can do, we also adjust the reaction time you have. That definitely needs to be adjusted here as well. And in order to keep this well structured and organized, what a good joke, I'll use that script in difficulty selection as well. Tack. Yes, it's GameMaker. Everything's created in GameMaker. That once again proves the power of Placebo, because I really thought it was more challenging earlier when I changed the difficulty, but it probably changed absolutely nothing. So yeah, that is easy. Now let's go to impossible. And oh my god, what is this? This doesn't look good. What? Oh no. Oh no. Just want to test it. Why don't you let me test it? The menu looks really good with this tree-like system. Yeah, well, I'm glad. I think it will work out. Just a couple of details I need to figure out. Now, there's no problem with the game now. Everything works as intended. But as soon as I go to the menu and resume the game, something seems to be broken. So that is very strange. Fatal error on action number 1 of step event for object player. It's pretty annoying that you have to listen to that annoying music while reading the error message. I don't want to listen to that. Why does the last player, new player, why does that not exist anymore? That is strange. Does everything work if we get rid of those two lines, because theoretically they're not super important? Even though I'm really wondering why there's an issue with those two. You'll leave for now, Fabian. Yeah, you've been here for a while, so thanks for joining in with us. 1001 deaths. Are you still trying to beat Will You Snail on impossible difficulty? well, 1000 deaths would be an epic number. Okay, so let's start the game on easy once again. And now let's try switching it to impossible. And oh my god, why? Why is this happening? If I set the room to persistent, do all of these objects not remember their variables? I thought everything stays exactly in place. Some of the data structures we need are probably deleted when we leave the room because there's obviously a logical thing to do to delete them when we leave the room, but I don't want to delete them when we go to the menu, damn it. Okay, so finding all of these little bugs will take a while, I guess. So which one is this? Object player data structure within. Last deaths. Object AI representation, okay. Yeah, here we have room end. So I only want to do that if room persistent is false. A statistics page that shows you at the end what killed you the most, yeah, that would be interesting. I think I can add that. Okay, of course we have the next error coming up right away. Which variable is it this time? Oh, it's last player again. I don't understand. Last player, this variable should be on the player, right? No? No, it's not in here? Okay. Does object player.id not exist anymore? Or I really don't understand. I mean, there should be a player, right? There should never be a time where there's not a player. Okay, let's check. Hey, Danny Kopik. The last player. Dum dum dum. Okay, seems to exist, so I don't understand what's the issue then. Maybe it's a game maker bug, who knows. Okay. That's really strange. Maybe the object doesn't exist anymore. What if we do instance find obj player, comma 0, because that should in theory do exactly the same. Hmm. 1111. Guess that will do it for today. Pope no, are you out of here? That's fine. Thanks for watching. Okay. I mean, testing that in this room doesn't really matter, right? Everything works fine in here until we go into the menu, then it's suddenly broken. Room reset line 45. Here. That's interesting. Why is this line a problem? When all of the previous lines where I used the exact same variable is not a problem. Huh? Never seen anything like that. You'll keep playing the demo for a while? Cool. Good luck. Oh, sorry, wrong level. We want to test this level. I I don't understand. I really don't understand. Sometimes you have these bugs. Variable reference invalid. In line 45. What's the issue with that? And why does this work? Okay, guess we'll don't destroy the last player object then. But that is obviously also not what's supposed to happen. Sorry, what was it this time? Mm-hmm. Very interesting result. Yeah, I mean, we do need to destroy that instance. Okay, whatever. I'm out of here as well. Stream has been going for long enough and seems like this bug will take a little longer to fix. So if you have any more questions or anything you would like to discuss with me, then feel free to post it in the chat now. I think we've made a good progress today on the menu system. Looks pretty solid, except for a couple of game-breaking bugs. Cool, so I enjoyed that. Maybe we can play some of the levels as relaxation in the end. And I'll be here reading chat for a couple more minutes and then we'll call it a day. I obviously want to play on rage mode. And as long as I don't visit the main menu, we should be fine, right? I will obviously play through this entire game with 0 deaths. Oh, oopsie. Look at that skill. I have unlimited skill. Oh jeez, this is one of the hardest levels at the moment. I don't think this is possible on rage mode, the more I think about it. Oh my god. Jeez, I made it, what the hell. Here comes the conveyor belt level, which is actually pretty annoying when played on rage mode. Oh, okay. 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 Have I beaten the demo on Impossible? No. It's impossible. I tried to balance it in a way where I thought maybe it's still possible, but I didn't manage to beat it on Impossible. Okay, this level is pretty hard as well. Dang it. No! So close. So close. But I think this is the better way at the moment. Or was I just lucky before? Not sure. I'm not this sure. Oh, come on. No, come on. Okay, we'll skip that. That is too challenging. This is a nice, relaxing change of things. Oh, that door looks kinda cool now. Check Discord after this, you've got some comments there. Okay, seems like we're done for today. Which is fine by me. Just a little... I can't stop playing. Sometimes that happens. Dag it! Oh, cool. Main menu. Cool. So I would like to thank you all for watching. I hope you have an amazing evening or day or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Yeah, don't forget about WoWie Game Jam this Friday, of course. Less than 2 days it will start. And yeah, that's it. Cool. See ya.